All right, here's our review video for estimating square roots. All right, so I'm gonna do 5 of them, and so pay attention so you can remember what we're doing here. All right, so our first one, let's do, how about square root of 32? Okay, so remember we're estimating the square root of this to tenths, so 1 decimal place. So we find the perfect squares on either side. So lower than this, closest was gonna be square root of 25. Perfect square is, there's 5. And then the other side is 36, which is the square root of 6. So remember, this square root of the lower perfect square is our whole number. Our denominator, we just double that. And then for our numerator, we subtract the perfect square from the number we're trying to estimate the square root of, 7. This one's an easy one. Now into a decimal form, 5.7. 32 square root. Perfect. Let's try another one. Everybody wants another one, right? Okay, let's do, how about square root 180? Okay, so the perfect squares on either side would be 169, which is 13, and 196, which is 14. So 13 is my whole number, double that, 26. Subtract 169 from that to get my numerator, which is 11. So again, this isn't one you're gonna know, like 7 over 10. So we try and do our best guess here. So 13 over 26 would be 0.5. And so we're lower than that. So I'm gonna say 13.4, I think is gonna be close. 180 square root. Boom, actual 13.41. So perfect again. How about 58? So on either side of that, so 64, square root of that's 8, 49, which is 7. Okay, so 7's my whole number, double that for 14 there, and then subtract the 49 from here, which gives me 9. Okay, 9 over 14. So it's gonna be 7 point something. So 0.5 is 7 over 14. So it's either gonna be 0.6 or 0.7. We'll go with 0.6, because it's not that far away. So 58 square root, 7.61. There you go. Right again, as always, they say, as always. One more, 4. I said 5, but we're gonna do 4. How about, let's do a big one, 278. Sure, 278. So on either side of that would be 256, would be a perfect square, which is 16, and then 289, which is 17. Okay, so my whole number, 16. My denominator, 32. Subtract the 256 from here, which gives me 22. Okay, 22 over 32. You got that one in your head? Probably not. But say you reduce that into half, or sorry, you divide that by 2. Okay, you'd be 11 over 16, which is like 11/16. You probably don't know that one as a benchmark, but that's close to 5/8, which is 0.625. So we'll say 0.7. 16.7. Let's see what it actually is. What am I doing? Oh yeah, 278 square root. Oh, nice. So 16.67. Okay, last one more, because I was inspired by it. Let's do an even bigger one. So our perfect square for 19 is 361, and 18 is 324. So let's do one in the middle of that. That was ugly. How about, let's do an odd number. Oh yeah, 353. So this will be 18, and then half of that, sorry, double that is 36. And then I get to subtract my 324. Okay, and that gives me 29. Okay, so 29 over 36, again, super random. So even if we make it one that's easier to mess with, so we're just barely going up a little bit. Okay, so then it's 30 over 36. You divide those both by 6, you get 5 over 6. Okay, so that's really close to a whole. So let's say 18.9. Might be a hair high. It's probably 18.8 because you see how far away that is. Let's try 18.8. Look at that, 8. All right, 353. Whew, good thing I didn't do 9. 18.788. So 18.8 is great. All right, that's how you do it.